Is everything okay here? Yeah, everything's fine. Just have a little squabble.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be covering season 3 of Desperate Housewives. I am so excited. This season is messy, it's crazy, it's all over the place. You guys are in for a ride. Also today we're going to be doing this makeup look for the holiday. As you guys can see, I'm like very decked out on my holiday spirit and theme. As you can see, everything is decorated. And I just want to do this wintry makeup because you know it's December. It is my birthday month, and so every day for my birthday month I want it to be a celebration. My birthday's on the 26th, so I'm super excited for all the Christmas decor, all the Christmas lights, all the Christmas treats, everything I'm looking forward to. So let's get into the video. Okay guys, so the first character we're gonna start with is our favorite, Susan. Mike gets into a coma. So Mike is in a coma, he's in the hospital, it's very sad. He got into a coma by getting hit by one of the other characters, Orson, and on his way to propose to Susan. So basically, poor Susie Q here, she is devastated. She's going to the hospital every single day, trying to make sure that Mike is, you know, he's good. And sadly, it takes a while for Mike to wake up. So Susan, being Susan, instead of holding out for Mike, she meets Ian in the hospital, right? So when she meets Ian in this hospital, she legitimately starts going on dates with Ian. But Ian asked her first. I'll make that clear. They were in the room with Jane, who's Ian's wife, who's also in a coma, just like how Mike is in a coma. So they're in her room. I don't know what they're talking about or whatever, but they want to get coffee or whatever, real food that's not hospital food. So they go out, they go on a date. I think they go out on this date, and this is where they get caught by Ian's parents. And then Ian tells, not Ian's parents, Ian tells his wife, Jane's parents, that's what they run into. He tells Jane's parents that Susan is one of his doctors instead of saying that she was from his publishing house. So then Susan has to pretend to be a doctor. She pretends to get a phone call to get out of there. It's a whole thing. It's just a mess, like, honestly. It's like whole little ordeal or whatever. Susan starts feeling guilty, but it's whatever. So Susan and Ian start macking it up. Like, I'm talking trips to the countryside and all this type of stuff. So while Shorty's like in the countryside or whatever, they get a call that Mike he's awake. Like, so she starts blaming Ian for how come she didn't see, she wasn't there. And I kind of feel like her like doing all that was a little bit crazy, because you know, she is grown, he is grown, they're both grown. They both decided to start this little rendezvous or whatever. So yeah, so when Mike wakes up, the person to see him wake up is Edie, and this is bad news for Susan. I know she was tight, because out of all the people to see Mike wake up, why I gotta be the one person I want to know most? So of course he wakes up, he doesn't really remember anything because he was in a coma for a long point in the season. Like, he was in a coma for a while. It was more than just an episode. So he's in this coma or whatever. He wakes up, he sees Edie. Edie says, "Hey, I'm your girlfriend." Mike believes her, because what else is he supposed to believe? He believes her. They start hanging out or whatever. Edie's convincing him that she's his girlfriend. Susan is like, what the Edie, and Edie's like, may the best of them win. So she takes Mike home or whatever. The police start questioning Mike because, again, they don't know at this point that Orson ran over Mike, and the only reason why Mike was at the crime scene of this woman. Her name is Monique Polar, whatever. Monique. She is connected to a lot of characters. She's connected to Orson. She's connected to Mr. Harvey and Mike. So all of them are connected, and Orson is now a love interest for Bree, because originally it was supposed to be Orson and Susan, because Orson and Susan met at like a movie theater or whatever. I think he was her dentist. They met, you know, it wasn't really love or whatever, and he was on a date with somebody else. So at this point they are basically like, you know, moving around in terms of dating. So Bree and Orson meet, and Orson used to be married to a woman, Alma. So Alma used to be his wife. They only got married because she was pregnant. She lost a baby. He started cheating on her. He wasn't messing with her. Orson was just very cold to her because he didn't want to be married to her. His mom, though, really, really loved her. So Orson's mom is like super controlling and stuff. So that's kind of why they ended up being married. Guys, for this look, I'm going to centered, I guess you could say. So we're gonna like put the blush down here and then up here too. I know this probably looks like so crazy, but you know, it's gonna be fun because afterwards we're gonna use we're gonna use setting powder. So the setting powder should kind of make it good, you know. But yeah, it's very blush heavy right now. I know what you guys are thinking, probably like, but don't worry. So yeah, so they get married because of his mom or whatever. He doesn't like her. She decides one day, I'm gonna leave him because he's cheating on me. So she packs all her stuff. She's running. Her bird falls in the cage. It's a mess. And then Orson comes home. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm leaving. And he's like, okay, then leave. So he's cleaning up or whatever. She basically made it seem like he killed her, like a gone girl. So basically, you know, everybody's thinking that Orson killed Alma. Orson killed that girl. She left. She skipped town. His mom is like, he put his mom in like a mental home or whatever after he and his mom hid Monique's body. When he gets with Bree, you know how Bree is. Bree loves the family image, everything. So when he gets with Bree is like, let's send a card to your mom. And Orson's like, no, we should reach out to her even if you don't like her, you know, because that's your mom. Look at the glitter. That's your mom, right? So Orson is like, no, you know, I'm not feeling that, rah rah rah. He like refuses. This man big flat out refuses to reach out to his mom. So Bree goes and investigates. You know how she is. She goes to investigate herself. She finds his mom. She's like, oh, she's such a nice woman, why would he not like her? So Bree basically invites the mom to their house. Orson's like, Bree, what the fuck? So Bree's like, Orson, she's your mom. I'm gonna put this one. You don't know her like I did. She comes over, she starts wreaking havoc. Like, she starts going crazy. Bree's trying to take care of her, making her like specialized meals because of her doctor and her metrics and stuff. And she's like, I don't want these meals, rah rah rah. And then Bree starts to realize like she's a pain. Like, she's actually a pain. So they slowly start beefing. I don't know how to explain their beef. Like, it's not really beef, but it's also beef at the same time. So they start beefing. Bree doesn't really rock with her no more. And basically, Alma comes back. And so when Alma comes back, she's done with Bree. Like, she doesn't want to mess with her. So she's
a garden without a snake.
Woman, and you know, I trust you and stuff, but technically Orson is married to Alma because, you know, she likes Alma more than she likes Bree. Hey guys, look at how it's coming out. So Orson doesn't rock with his mom, like obviously he doesn't rock with Alma either, that's why he let her leave. And so Alma comes back, and so Alma and Orson's mom, they're plotting, right? They're plotting to literally get Alma pregnant so she can be back with Orson. Now, I don't really know where they get off trying to tell a grown man who he shouldn't be with. I don't know why they thought that would work, but it doesn't, obviously. I have to put a trigger warning in here because this has to deal with rape and drugging and assault. So basically, Alma rapes Orson. She drugs him, she knocks him out, and she does what it do. So Bree comes in, she's like, Orson, you're cheating on me with your ex-wife, but you said you didn't love her, rah, rah, rah. But then Bree's like, Orson, get up. Get up. And he doesn't get up. And she's like, wait, what's going on here? She looks around, she sees liquor on the table. She sees pills. She's like, wait, no you didn't. So she calls Andrew. They come and get Orson out that house. Alma and Orson's mom, they take care of themselves. Since Alma's like super in love with Orson, to the point where it's like a little bit scary, Orson's mom is easily able to manipulate her because of this. So she basically locks her in a closet I don't know why she locked her in a closet. I think she honestly just found her annoying in that moment, so she locked her in the closet. She locks her in a closet, she goes back to Orson and Bree's house, and she's ready to kill Bree. So Danielle, being Danielle, she comes to the door, she's like, hey Danielle, why are you not at the party? Because there is a party going down at Scavo's, which we're gonna get into that. So she's like, why are you not at the party? And then Danielle's like, oh my god, I should be at the party. She's like, yes girl, you should be at the party. So she sends her to the party so she can kill Bree in peace. Danielle is at Scavo's, which Andrew works at Scavo's. So when he sees Danielle, he's like, Danielle, why are you not watching mom? Mom is sick, you know? And Danielle's like, oh my god, grandma can't take care of her. And Andrew, being the best, is like, are you stupid? Like, do you not know what's going on? And she's like, but she brought soup. And the soup was to drug Bree. The soup was to drug Bree. So she drugs Bree. She puts Bree in a bathtub. She gets ready to cut Bree's wrist. Basically, Andrew and Orson get home in time to stop her. They stop her. Orson basically kills his mom. I don't know why we don't talk about that. He basically kills his mom and he puts her with Alma, and then they are dead together, and that's pretty much Bree and Orson's whole storyline throughout the season. Next, it's like you're watching 4 different shows in this season. Next, we gotta finish Susan and Mike, and Ian. So Susan is battling getting married to Ian. So you know Susan can't cook for shit. So Susan asked Bree to come cook this meal for Ian and his parents and stuff because, you know, she's been on dates with him. She's been to his house in England. I cannot believe they went to England. That was so cool. She's been to the cabin with him upstate. So they're really like, they fight a lot though. They fight a lot. Although Ian is a great guy, they fight a lot. But it's because that Susan doesn't love him like she loves Mike. So you know, this is also the season where Julie gets caught shoplifting, and then the shoplifting leads to them having to stay in the store because of Austin. Oh my god, if we're gonna talk about Susan, we gotta talk about Julie and Austin. But back to Susan. So Susan is with with Ian. Susan is with Ian, right? So she's trying to get married to him, she's trying to decide. But Mike is like around, and Mike now knows after the whole like Edie thing, because Edie basically leaves him. Edie's with Mike for a little bit. Her and Susan fight it out. Edie leaves him when he gets arrested for the murder of Monique Paulman because he was there fixing her pipes, which is why his DNA is in the crime scene. And then Orson hands him his wrench, which is really important. Orson hands him his wrench with Monique's blood on it, so they think it's him, but it's not him. So you know, And then that leads to Susan and Bree fighting over Orson. There's a scene where she's choosing between wedding cakes, and Mike and Ian are standing at the corresponding wedding cakes. One of them is like the wedding cakes are corresponding to them. One is like American, old-fashioned, and the other one's like British and sophisticated or whatever. And Susan is like tweaking bad because she doesn't know who to choose. Look at the side. So basically, she's trying to choose. She's freaking out. It's not working out for her. At the end, she calls off the wedding with Ian. She gets back with Mike, right? Cool. Gabby, how she's not marrying Ian anymore and she's going to marry Mike, and so she's basically having a wedding with a different groom, and everybody's like, okay, like, you know, you and Mike, you guys are kind of rushing, but whatever. So this leads to them almost having a double wedding, and then I think Susan backs out of the wedding, and then literally Gabby just takes the wedding spot and Susan and Mike get married in like some remote place. But I know what you guys are thinking. Why is Gabby getting married? Isn't she already married to Carlos? So not anymore. So basically they get a divorce. They get this huge, messy divorce. But I think it might look nice. So Gabby, Carlos, divorce. They're going through a very messy divorce. It's super messy. But you can tell they love each other still. They still love each other. By the way, Gabby's the one who initiates this divorce. That's what you have to remember. But also Carlos is co-signing it because Gabby did cheat on him, even though he cheated back during this season. Because Gabby basically tells him to cheat back on her to get even. I don't know how she does this. I don't know. But she basically tells him to cheat back. He cheats back with their now surrogate, because before they got divorced, Gabby and Carlos were trying for a child. She got pregnant with the child in season 2, and then she lost it after falling down the stairs when she got scared from Matthew from the Applewhites. So they have the surrogate, right? So the surrogate is born at Bree and Orson's wedding. The surrogate gave birth, and when the surrogate gave birth, it was the wrong baby. The hospital switched the babies. Something to note is that in this show, Gabby and Carlos make a lot of money from other people's mistakes. This is the second time already the hospital has messed something up for them, you know? So yeah, so basically, you know, the hospital messes it up. They're like, oh my god, like I can't take this no more. So they finally get a divorce, right? They get a divorce. Carlos starts dating Edie. Carlos likes blondes, okay? Do not argue with me. Watch the show and you're gonna see Carlos likes blondes for fun. He's never ever serious about a blonde, but for this, he loves blondes for fun. Like, to mess around, that's what he likes. Gabby starts, you know, dating around. First, she wants to date this guy who's in the volunteering program that her friend got her into. He was one of her model friends back from New York, and he got her into this thing because, you know, he wanted her to have a project because she's bored because of the divorce. She's in a bitchy mood because of the divorce, and she's like, oh, come volunteer or whatever. She volunteers. First she hates it, then she loves it because she's being able to do her passion. This is something that follows Gabby throughout the show. She's bored because she's not following her passion. So they, you know, chop it up. They go, she sees his dad, she's like in love with him because he's cute or whatever, and they start dating, but it's bad because she's still in love with Carlos. So Carlos is teasing her, she's getting mad at him, they're arguing. That's what they like to do. And basically by the end of the season, she is married. She's marrying Victor Lang. So her and Victor get married. Victor is rich. He meets her by hitting her car. He basically is playing her from day one, and she's like, you're playing me, don't play with me, I'm not the one. And she walks away, and he's like, she's the one, I love her. And he marries her, he moves her into his big house. His ex-wife and her are the same size, and she has couture, and then they get into a fight over it because she wears one of the ex-wife's dresses to a party, which is in our thumbnail. That you guys can't see it. I'll show it here. It's a cute little dress. It's adorable, but you know, not good. So she marries Victor, but then on their wedding day, she cheats on Victor with Carlos, and Carlos is hiding under her wedding dress, and he's like, who doesn't wear underwear on their wedding day? And she's like, shut up. And you know how they are when they're in love. Very flirty. They, you know, are cheating. They have this whole affair. I don't know why they're divorced. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. So anyways, they have this whole affair, and then they get caught by Edie because Edie's heartbroken because Carlos basically broke up with her and left her. He wanted to have a child with her, but that's literally all he wanted from her was a kid because of her son Travers. And Travers is like hanging around. He's getting used to hanging around Travers, and he realizes he actually wants a kid of his own. They try for a baby. She's on birth control just so she can keep him around. Doesn't work out. Very messy. He finds out. He dumps her on the wedding day, and that's when he goes cheats with Gabby. He tells Gabby he wants away. They run away. Edie also tries to kill herself in this season, which delayed them running away. So because Carlos left her. So yeah, it's a mess. Basically, by the end of the season, it's a storm, which is why they said to come for the storm. So it's this big storm, like everything is leading up to this huge storm. So Lynette gets cancer. It's super sad in this season. She gets cancer. Tom also opens up a restaurant with their life savings, which is a point that he brought up in the end of the last season. He brought up he wanted to start a restaurant, so they start a restaurant, and it's just very a mess. It's already a mess because Tom doesn't know what he's doing. He decides to open up a pizzeria, which is hard to have because not everybody is going to go to a pizzeria when there's so many other pizzerias around, so many other cheaper options, whatever. His business is not doing too well. He's trying to get catering and stuff from his neighbors, and it's just not working out too well. So basically, you know, he has this whole business. It's a whole thing. It's really a mess. It's such a mess. And Lynette is like so stressed about it because she basically is now his business partner. She has to take time after work because he wanted to be a stay-at-home dad while he figures this out. I don't know, girl. He wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. He was being a horrible stay-at-home dad too. He was being a bad stay-at-home dad. He was being a bad husband. He was being a horrible business partner, and then he gets hurt and he can't do the business. Now Lynette is basically the manager of this whole business. She's literally the manager of this business, and it's just a mess. Lynette gets cancer. She has to work and also have cancer and also take care of Tom and this business and their kids, and it's just a mess. Like for Lynette, this season is a mess. She ends up getting cured from the cancer, but it's just a mess. Like I just feel so bad for her because Tom is also being a jackass about the cancer. He literally is like, Lynette, you're a cancer. He lets her call herself that, and he agrees with her, like because he just wants to have sex. This man is like a sexaholic. He loves sex. This is love. So Julie is dating a boy named Austin, right? So Austin is new. He's Edie's nephew. He's hot though. He's hot, but that's the problem. Him being hot, everybody loves him, even Julie's best friend, even Danielle sleeps with him. Julie's best friend sleeps with him. Julie's dating him. This is Julie's downfall. Like actually, this is Julie's downfall. This is the pinnacle moment where Julie started to fall off. Before Austin, there was Zach. This was her downfall, okay? They date. Because of him, she ends up in a hostage situation at the supermarket because, like I said, Monique Polar's connected to Mr. Harvey also, who's Mrs. Harvey's wife. Wait, Mrs. Harvey and Mr. Harvey are together, right? So he was cheating on her with Monique as well. And Mrs. Harvey is friends with Alma, so she really doesn't rock with Orson. And when Bree finds out that Monique was cheating with Mr. Harvey, she tells Mrs. Harvey, because she's not liking how she's going around spreading rumors that Orson, her husband now, killed his wife, his ex-wife. So she tells her that, and she goes crazy. She snaps. She decides to hold a hostage situation for the whole supermarket. She said nobody's leaving. And she holds him on a gunpoint, and she basically kills Tom's... Oh, how could I forget? Tom has an illegitimate secret baby that he is hiding from Lynette, who he goes to and visits. And that's when Lynette thinks that Tom is cheating, but he's not, because it's before they got married. Allegedly. Whole thing, and the little girl is a devil baby. She calls CPS on Lynette. She does everything to screw with Lynette. Everything. Even when they hired this new manager named Rick is something. But even when they hired a new manager, Rick, she literally plants in Tom's mind, because at this point Tom has a back injury, like I said, he can't do nothing. Plants in Tom's mind that Lynette is cheating with Rick. So Tom starts looking. He's like, wait, you guys are getting a little too flirty. Let me go talk to this man. So they have lunch or whatever. He talks to him. So basically, they get Rick to quit. And then Rick opens up his own restaurant, to which burns down. And you know who burned it down? The twins. Because guess who told them to burn it down? That devil baby, Kayla. Horrible. Like, just horrible, baby. Tom, you see how Tom causes all the problems in Lynette's life? I think you guys see it. I see it. We all see it. So yeah, basically that just about covers the whole season. It was messy. It was crazy. It was everywhere. The season even ends with a tornado. And Catherine. It was just a mess. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy December.